Yep. Eagles Way of Boxing coming up. Y'all know what's up. That's right. We back. Hold on. I'm messing with something. Always, huh? Yep. Ego always doing more. Always trying to multitask. Always doing a bunch of things at once. People say I don't look like I'm moving. They say, how you don't look like you're moving, but you're getting so much done. It's called efficiency, folks. Efficiency. You got to be efficient. You got to know what the hell you're doing. That's the real story. You just got to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, then yeah. I used to work with people that it look like they doing a lot. You're like, oh wow, they look at that speed. I mean, they flying all over the place. But when it came to production, it wasn't nothing done. You didn't get nothing done. You just did. Your production was just movement. You just move fast. Moving fast ain't getting nothing done. Said, damn, you moving so fast, dipping into that paint. I thought you had the whole wall painted by now, man. I just walked off. I just did the walk off because I thought your painting was done. I just did the walk off on you. Let me do the walk off. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about legacy today. Um, because I had to bring up. I just got to bring this. I got to bring this fighter up today. Um, even you guys might not want to bring him up, but we got to bring him up. Anytime you make a little bit of news, if it's not so controversial, if it's not something that we're gonna have to sit there and think about, like we don't have to sit there and think, is this going to be done? Because that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing. We just waiting to see what's going to be done. Oh, he gonna fight. He's gonna fight him. They gonna do this. You ain't gonna do nothing. And yes, you do it. So that's what we gotta wait on. But uh, strongest topics in the news. Yeah. So I like to bring up our state of being. You know what I mean? Our state of what we're going through as society. So I want to bring this up, and I don't want to stay on it like real long, because I know you guys might want to stay on it, but I don't want to stay on it like extra long, because it will not. I won't say that these things can't be solved, but what I'm gonna say is that they are probably not going to be solved. A lot of things that happen to us in our lifetime have already been happening all the time. So they're probably just not going to be solved. And anytime you can't solve a problem, there's a reason behind why you can't solve a problem. Some of our hardest problems, like when we go through school, some of our hardest problems has something to do with math. Those end up being our hardest problems, because anything else we can just research, we can figure it out. When it comes to math, science, and things of that nature, then sometimes it's just hard for us to figure out. Even if we're searching, we could look up this, look up that. You just still can't find it. You can't figure it out. And the reason you can't is because it's a lot of times it's in formulation style. You know what I mean? So you can't ask about a certain formula. It would take you more time to figure out, getting information on the formula than to just put the numbers in and just figure it out. You just got to find out where your math, where your division, where your, multiplication and division and stuff. You got to just figure out where that's going wrong. You got to check out where's my square root expertise is just not on point. But some of the stuff that we're going through, there are solutions. But a lot of times we just don't want those solutions. We just don't want them. And I'm just saying, we as acceptors, because we accept what goes around, we accept, we accept everything. If law tells us something, even if it's against the law, we agree with it. Like, okay, you know what I mean? And that's why we're in the trouble that we're in. So you got a lot of these. So now you got Asian folks. I guess the latest one was it in New York or Florida? I think it was in. It was on the East Coast for sure. So they said it's an outrage, and now and these people are dear to me too, though. The Filipino people are still dear to me also, because I had a lot of friends. At one point I grew up with them, so I understand the hurt and the pain and the suffering. You understand? So what you're doing, you're taking it out on the innocent. But who was the start of this? Because a lot of Asian crime doesn't necessarily it's usually them, but it usually doesn't get reported. We don't really hear about it, but now all of a sudden we hear about it. So how disturbed should we be about it? How disturbed should we be about it, and what started it? What was the main thing that set it off? What was the main thing that set it off right now? Yeah. So those are the questions. What set it off? But these are just little micro problems. It's just to distract us and have us. It's just gonna have somebody printing up some new T-shirts. That's all it's gonna do. That's all that's gonna happen. Is somebody gonna print up some new T-shirts. That's the only thing that's gonna happen with this. But I'm gonna sit back. You guys are late arrivers today. So I'll just sit back for a little bit. We'll discuss it. Now I got to go over it again because you didn't have your ass in here participate. That's right. I mess with y'all. Oh yeah, let me put something up real quick. I have to move it probably, but let's put it up, even if we have to move it. Yeah, so, yeah, I like that. Let's put this up over here. That's to keep me reminded. But anyway, I don't put all my notes down for the chat, but at least I put what I'm gonna talk about. So at least we have that. So we got what we're gonna try to discuss. But I'll give y'all a second, or a minute, or two, or whatever y'all need, because I don't want to tell you you're gonna have to hit that. You're gonna have to go back over and listen to the stream all over again. Because y'all like little kids sometimes. No, I want to go watch the whole stream again. Hey, get your ass in here. Get your ass in here. Sit your ass down. Watch the chat. And participate. If you get here late, and you miss everything, then what Eagle talking about? It's too late. Huh? It's too late. I'm going to tell you something that sucks me in. I get on this damn internet, right? I'll tell you something that sucks me in. It's stupid commercials. Or actually, the advertisement. Because I just want to check. I'll be thinking I got ripped off. I'm like, it'll tell you, oh yeah, we got, check out these new, they'll say, check out these new SUVs. Crazy a price break, under 12,000. And you go pull it up, you don't see nothing. It's nothing. It just has instructions to get to a whole nother site where you can look at new SUVs, and you can put that price in, and nothing's gonna come up. If you put in $12,000 for a new SUVs, nothing's gonna pull up. Yep. Nothing at all. I see down there, y'all sir. He said salute to the Eagle. I don't know what y'all have over there right now. I don't know if you guys have that Asians are being attacked over there now. Yeah. Our American Asians are being beat up, attacked, killed, kicked, stomped, and all that. I don't know if you guys are having that trouble over there. Well, that has always happened, but not so severe. But it is what it is. And I don't like to start off with disturbing news, but that's just what it is. I mean, that's all around, but our skin is so thick when it comes to stuff like that. We're just so numb to it. It's just like it's nothing. Asian lives, do they matter? Black lives, do they matter? Whose lives matter? That's all I'm gonna say. Because whose life is mattering so much? Politician lives matter? Who is it that life matters? Blue lives matter, right? Military lives matter. You start seeing the pattern of who lives matter, then you'll realize that, this is my opinion. But I'm just saying, you probably going to realize what the story is. Politician lives matter. They're going to bring them up. What about people in Hollywood? Do their lives matter? What about the mailman? Does his life matter? What about the garbage man? Does garbage man's life matter? I mean, you're going to take this thing, and what's going to happen is this thing is going to blow way out of proportion, which I don't understand. How is it not blowing out of proportion now? But I'm just saying. How does it not blow out of proportion? Because you're going to start, when you categorize, first of all, people don't like for you to categorize stuff. They get upset when you categorize stuff by race or by ethnicity. They start getting upset. So then it's going to be, do nurses' lives matter? Do doctors' lives matter? Do veterans' lives matter? Do exterminators' lives matter? Well, they playing with death anyway. just saying. Yep. So that's the point. When we talk about lives that matter. Because we're gonna have a whole crap load of shirts. You can't put on every shirt that has something to do with somebody's mattering. There's nothing you can put on. There's no shirts you can put on to have somebody's life matter though. Yes sir. But anyway, salute to yes sir out there. He said salute eagle. He said nothing like that here. He said thank God. Well, that's it. The delivery man lives matter. Oh man, huh? What about the? We've been doing this. We've been going through this, man. We got the murdered and missing Native women. Do they matter? It's just so many of them. It's just so. Who lives matter? You start off with color, and then from color you went to a race. It's not even a race. It's a group. It's not a race. Asian is not a race, or I guess you can call it a race. A race of people. It's not a nation. Asian is not a. It's not an Asian nation. You know what I mean? They're all divided up. They're all divided up into these different groups, subgroups or whatever. And even within those groups, they're divided up. Like if you said Filipino, then what? They got subgroups. You got subgroups when it comes to that. But is this going to be the new thing? And who started that? Yeah, sir. Who started this whole action? There has to be a finger to point. Okay? If everybody's looking at this person and they starting a fire, it burns down a whole village, who's to blame? Is the ones that watched him start the fire, are they to blame, or the one that actually started the fire, are they to blame? That's just one side. Now, somebody's sneaky. Now, this is one thing that they don't even allow in courts when it comes to something, like if it's come to a criminal case, they're not going to allow what they call hearsay. So, we're dealing with hearsay evidence that a certain group of people started a pandemic. Is that the guy that we witnessed with the, did we witness him? Did we witness this guy out there uh, starting the fire that burned up the village? But in this case, we're going by hearsay, and this hearsay is more or less destroying the whole earth. The whole earth population is actually vulnerable to this cause. The effect from that cause is getting everybody. But back to it again though. Asian lives matter, right? Okay, so Asian lives matter, right? But do Asian lives matter? Think about it. Do Asian lives matter? See? Do they? Do Asian lives matter? Do your life matter? Does anybody's life matter? And like I said, back to the main question again, is who was the one that perpetuated this? Who started this? Who started this ball to rolling? Huh? Where did we get the information from? Stop it, Gil. Gil coming here talking about, I see you out there surfing, and I see you out there, Gil Cole coming here talking about that's what we talking about today. Nah, man, we always gotta do our public address, man, at first. We always gotta talk about stuff that's out there, because I want to see where you guys' mind is, just to make sure my mind is right. Because I asked the question. I said, so is this gonna be the new normal, or what's going on with now that the Asian attacks? Now they're going to have Asian lives matter, black lives matter, white lives matter. Now they're going to have everything. So what I'm saying is Filipino lives matter, right? Everybody's life matter. No, nobody's lives matter. Not until they show us that the lives matter. Okay, so let's take it a step further, though. Let's take it one step further. Let's take it a step further, right? Where was all the caring ever since the conception of this country? Where has any care has been given for the hundreds of years that people have been oppressed here? That's just a normal state here. It's nothing. There's no alarm, and yes, there's a specific group, and you know who the group is. Once that group starts to get affected, then maybe there'll be change. There might not necessarily still be that much of a change. But should we get all excited when other people get attacked or something like that? Should you get excited? You being whatever you are. You being red, black, whatever. Should you get excited about that if the same thing has happened to you? Should you get excited, or should you be like, well, it's your turn now, I guess? Should you just be cold-hearted about it, or should you get concerned about it, or what should you do? It's a question I'm asking. It's a question that I'm asking. What should you do? Do we get excited about it because it's something new? It's never been new. Somebody's always been attacked and discriminated against. When it's your turn, then it just don't feel as good. And can I ask another question? When they were talking about, even when they talked about the Black Lives Matter, which I'm not into all this stuff. I don't believe it. I don't believe the ones who organize stuff like that. I think it's a setup. That's just my opinion. But where were all the Asians at that? Where were they at when it came to that? Where were they at? Now it's your turn. Now you want the sympathy. And I'm not saying that's what they want. I'm not saying that. And I'm not trying to be cold about it. My whole purpose is to question. So there's your question. Let me have a sip of some rain. Cheers, fellas. Let me see what y'all got though, since it's a handful of y'all in here right now. And no, our boxing subject, I guess you didn't read, was about is legacy. And we're gonna bring up some stuff, Gil. So you just stay tuned, little brother, okay? Be patient sometime, man. Just be patient, man. I think you got anger management issues, boy. Huh? You got anger management issues. Huh? What is it? What are you supposed to say, man? What is it, Sir Flame? What are you supposed to say? Is it goose fiber or Sue's fiber? What is it? Come on, Gil. Just sit down and go goose fiber or whatever. I forget what it is. Something like that. It was funny. Anger management. That's an anger management joke. If you don't know, you have to watch the movie. But y'all, sir, Hussein's out there. He said salute to Eagle. Got that up good. He said nothing like that here. We're talking about the Asian attacks. And then Sir Flames up in here says salute at Eagles Web. Salute to the chat. And as always, he says jab that like button on your neck. He said don't get neck in Eagles Web boxing. Got them things up good. That, you know what it is. We slicing. Got the fist up good with the glove in it. And the 100% on that fire. That's right. Sir Flame and salute at y'all, Sir Hussein with the 100. And then smart ass Gil. This is what we talking about today. And then y'all, Sir Hussein, salute at Gil at Sir Flame. And then y'all, Sir Hussein, salute at Gil Cole. See, I didn't miss Sir Flame. I did not miss y'all, Sir Monday. See, because we already had enough trouble out of Gil on Monday. But we'd have had a lot more trouble if y'all, Sir, would have had his ass up in here. But anyway, y'all, Sir, salute at Sir Flame. Salute at Gil Coles. And Gil Coles at y'all, Sir Hussein 100. And then y'all, Sir Hussein again. He says it's hard to show empathy to a community that never showed yours none. That's my opinion. I don't really know how it works in the state. There, see, why are you mind reading all of a sudden? Because that's the same way I'm thinking. I'm like, if people have fought with you, because in the 90s, 80s, 70s, on down, especially now, I'm not picking on you Korean people. I have Korean. I like Korean. So, let's say let's say I'll just deal with the West Coast. Let's deal with the Southwest. So in L.A., there was actually a woman who shot a little girl over some orange juice. A Korean woman. She got 0 time in jail. She got probation. I think like 3-4 years probation. That's it. But she killed her over some orange juice that she was saying that she was taking, but she wasn't taking. She was buying some orange juice. She wasn't going to steal the orange juice. But that's the treatment that if you was a certain color, if you went to a Korean store, that's the kind of treatment you would get the whole time. They would, and they make fun of it and they show it on television, different shows. And y'all seen it. What they, I think was, what was it? I think it's such a long title. Don't be sipping juice in the hood or something. I don't know. Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. I done forgot the name of the damn movie. I'll think of it because it's just so long. It's some movie. Y'all write the whole title down. Y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. Where the lady's in there, man, she's talking about hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. You know, telling somebody to hurry up and buy. You know, like, hurry up and get something and get your ass out my store. Whereas they're not going to say that to anybody else. Right? Now, you do have some Koreans that actually understood, that were more educated, that actually went to the, you know what I'm saying, went to, you know, the archives of like hip hop, and they kind of studied, you know. So then they started getting into African American history, and they studied and to find out what the real problem was. And see, a lot of them are sensitive enough to understand that you go to a community that you, from another country, you just come into a community and you just start building. But you give zero homage to that community. Like, you don't care. All you want is the money. Hurry up and buy. Get your ass in here. Don't be a minister. Don't be a minister to South Central while drinking juice in the hood. Is that what it is? Don't be a minister. Is it society or South Central? I don't even know. I told you it's so long, man. But you can know, I know the movie, though. But that shit is stupid. Yeah. Yeah, you said you messed up. Yeah, you messed up. But you came in here, you made like a great point right off the bat. Nobody else said nothing, but you made a great point. If you're not going to show empathy, I mean, so when it comes to the when it comes to the Asians, if you're really mad at the Asians, which Asians are you supposed to be mad at? Not all of them. Filipinos ain't had nothing to do with this. Matter of fact, I don't think all of the Asians didn't have nothing to do with it. You have to do your research to find out. And if you dig deep enough, you're going to be able to find out what happened. You're going to be able to find out why this happened, where it came from, who made it. It didn't all of a sudden, it doesn't exist in nature, so it had to be made. Huh? You're probably looking at me like, oh, Eagle don't know what you're talking about. If it wasn't in nature, it had to be made. And that's what we're talking about. So now you got Asians getting beat up on because of this. Now they're going to have Asian Lives Matter. Yeah. But that's just funny though. It's some of it, I mean, you can make light of it, but it is funny. But like I said, if you're not sensitive to other people or empathetic, then you can't expect them to be empathetic and sympathetic to you. Now, that's just what it is. But you can't take it out on everybody. These people that do all these attacks, they did zero research. People that act like certain stuff is here did zero research. Now, I'm not going to talk about you guys know where it stems, right? Why these attacks are happening. But now, let me just throw this at you. This country didn't used to have disease. The people in this country. I see down there, Derek Bailey, salute to Derek Bailey coming in here. The people in this country never had disease, but all of a sudden they have disease, right? Now, why is it that even though the native people weren't a disease people, not even colds or anything, which is virus, so why is they never had anything? Why is it that all around them they have medicine to pick off trees, bushes, and everything else to combat all of these diseases and to cure these diseases, even though they didn't themselves have them? Is that a coincidence? That's all I'm going to ask you. Is that a coincidence that we have certain medicines and stuff that can cure a lot of these things that were already here? Matter of fact, I talked about the chaparral. Maybe you guys looked it up. It's also called greasewood. Maybe you guys checked it out, but that's for a lot of different things, see? Things that we never had. So we had treatments for stuff before we even needed the treatments. Is that just a coincidence? Think about it. Is that a coincidence? That sounds like divine to me. Intervention, like, okay, y'all gonna need this. But make sure you use this. You're gonna need this because you're gonna get some kind of sickness. You know, what is sickness? We ain't never had no sickness. Okay. Yeah, now you do. But you stupid. Y'all sir say hurry up and buy. Yeah, hurry up and buy. Hurry your ass up and buy. You know what it is. Hurry up and buy. Yeah. But if you're not showing that kind of empathy or nothing like that, you're right. So you're the latest ones to get attacked. Is the uneducated person's fault if they always been uneducated if you're not going to tell the truth and tell them where everything started? Why is it in the state? All they know is just like if some white boy, I'm just put it this way, some white guy is going to a neighborhood and they just start terrorizing. Right? There's a couple of them, right? Eventually they're going to get caught and stomped out. But that's in that neighborhood. Now, if everybody gets that same information, what's going to happen? You're going to be targeting and looking, and believe me, I grew up with this. You're going to be targeting and looking for white guys or girls, whoever, you're going to be looking for them to put the smash down on them because you don't have all the story. All you have is just two white guys terrorizing. And then we got to know the story why. Now, if they just did it randomly, if they just did it, then they ass finally got randomly stomped out. But we have to know where the seed was actually planted first, okay? A lot of times we react, but we don't have enough information to react. And America does that a lot too, whether you want to believe it or not. Oh, we're going to go to war with you. Why? Nobody's going to go to war with you. Why are you going to go to war with them? Nobody's coming way over here to go to war. And just to let you to know, and probably Derek would know this too, is that even if you're going to go to war with somebody, what you do, if you really want to go a long distance to go to war with nobody, you don't send no big war planes and ships. You don't do that. You're not going to make it. That doesn't work. You can't send a bunch of ships out somewhere. I mean, you can take airplanes and land them. I mean, they got to be a long ways away from where you're going to go. But we're surrounded by water on both sides. You can't come across that much ocean and do that kind of damage. You just can't. Not as a group. They're going to get you. You got to do it in a stealth system. You got to do it stealthily. You know what I mean? Man, I'm not trying to give, somebody who wants to do something against America, I'm not trying to give them the information on how to get us. But if I try to bring weapons over here, I'm probably going to get caught, right? Now, what if I bring stuff over here to make my weapons once I get there? And I have a place where I can just store them. And nobody's the wiser, remember? Because America's dumb. I live here, but you guys are dumb. You're always finding something in somebody's storage somewhere. But that's all you got to do. Send a few people over at a time until you get enough of them over here. Right? That's how you start. Because they're not going to find your little arsenal, whatever. You build everything up, and then you build your fortress and stuff. Now you're ready to war, right? Because you came over stealthily. You came over with like this, like, I don't got nothing. Didn't even look suspicious. You raised your hands and did all that. You didn't look suspicious, right? Yeah. You can't sneak in. Just like somebody trying to sneak in your town with a tank. You're not sneaking in. We heard you way before you got here. Yeah. But you're right. Yeah. He said, don't. He said, everybody. Yeah. He said, don't be a menace to South Central while drinking juice in the hood. That's where I got it from. That's what it was. And then Sir Frank said, what you know about that? Yeah, sir, that's right. Yeah, what do you know? That's what I was thinking too, Sir Frank. I'm like, what you know about that? But anyway, he said he watched all the hood movies. As Sir Frank. Derek Bailey saluted Eagles Web. Boxing, yep, I got him. What are we talking about? Yeah, we just talking about the Asians. We was talking about the Asians being the new ones to be attacked, and then we asking how should we feel about it? Should we be empathetic, sympathetic, or what? When they were never there for anybody else, when anybody else gets attacked. And when they've been always kind of standoffish and always want you to, that's why I brought up the movie, don't be a menace to South Central while, drinking juice in the hood. That's why I brought that situation up. Because that's more or less what they do. And like I said, the Korean lady shot the little black girl. Didn't get no time or nothing. Just got probation. So, a lot of black folks, a lot of brown folks and black folks, is just not going to be that sympathetic to them or empathetic. They just going to be, oh, well, shit happens. And I'm not saying for us as society to just be cold. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, oh, just be cold because it happened to you. But there's a saying, though, eye for an eye and stuff like that. I feel bad about it. I wouldn't let it wouldn't go down in front of me. I wouldn't let it happen. No. I'd have to get the story like, well, why are you attacking him? Or why are you attacking her? No, don't attack them, brother. I'm a peacemaker. I said, don't attack them. I said, stop it. But some people would be like, well, get encouraged and go in there and get them a kick in. When that riot shit set off in L.A., shit, they almost killed that truck driver. Everybody was going in and getting a nice little kick in or hitting his ass with a brick or something. I'm like, God, man, he's very, very fortunate that he was saved at that point. But see, just like the guy went out there and saved him, see, I'm not going to let you're not going to hit me with no brick while I'm trying to save nobody. I'm like, man, I tried to save you, man, but I'm getting hit with bricks now. I say, sorry about that, brother. I just try to talk him down, man. Just hey, y'all stand down. But that's what we was talking about, brother. That the Asians are the new ones to be attacked over here. Yeah. And then Gil calls at Derek Bailey nothing. See, of course, Gil's such a hater. He's so hateful. Y'all notice how hateful he is? He's just hateful, brother. Y'all Hussein is saluted Derek Bailey. Sir Flame is saluted Derek Bailey. And then Derek Bailey saluted Gil Coles at Yasser Hussein and Sir Flame. And then Yasser Hussein said that Derek Bailey, Asian community being attacked, etc. Yep. And then Derek Bailey came back. So I'm glad. See, when Derek Bailey come in, I'm happy. Sir Flame come in, so they can kind of combat Gil. Matter of fact, you don't even have y'all sir's not on your side today, Gil. So Gil usually have y'all sir on his side, but it's not. Yeah. But Derek Bailey said the colonizers brought disease. That's right. But Derek Bailey, the question was, yeah. Oh yeah, black people ain't really. They sensationalizing that shit. But anyway, Derek Bailey, the question was about why was medicine already here? So, and we didn't need medicine. Why was it already here? And he put up the right answer though. He said the colonizers brought disease. That's right. But is that a coincidence? I don't never. You guys can believe in coincidence, but I just don't. I'm just saying. Yeah. Usual suspect at Derek Bailey. Yep. Y'all see what I'm saying? Yep. And then Sir Flame said, I ain't attacking nobody. I mind my own business. That's what we do. We ain't going out there. I'm not even thinking about it. That's the last thing on my mind is going to attack some Asians. I mean, maybe if I was a kid or something like that, and I got all hyped up because everybody was saying it. Yeah, man, them Asians did that. You know, because your boys give you a pep talk. You know, they give you a pep talk and you go out there and maybe you'll smash some heads. And I'm not going to say I would be innocent and not do anything. But right, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't do stuff like that. Sir Flames, the only time I attack is to protect me or my family. That's right, Derek Bailey. He said exactly that, Sir Flame. He said that, yeah, they made a skit on Living Color about that. Yeah, Living Color. They too young. They don't know nothing about Living Color, Derek Bailey. Some of them was only 1 or 2 years old. They don't remember that shit. You had to at least be 10. Well, maybe not 10. You at least had to be, what, 8? I don't know. Kids remember that shit, though. Yeah, I guess, no, not 2. I would say you would have to at least be 5, something. Let's say 5 or 6 to remember in Living Color. If you wasn't at least that old, you ain't gonna remember it. But the point here though is, so what do we do as society now? So what do we do now, Derek Bailey? What do we do now, as far as the whole Asian thing? Do we just sit on our hands, just forget it? You know, because like I said, I didn't want to talk about it a long time. I ended up talking about it for a while, though. But what do we do? It's going to take a lot of time to get the information out there. And what they'll do, they're just going to drag out some kind of BS on it. That's all, just like they did with see how long the Black Lives Matter? So now this is going to probably spark something to where they erase the Black Lives Matter. And so they can kill the whole narrative, and so they can kill the main point of the discussion, they'll come up with something like all lives matter now, when they're making it seem like no lives matter. All I can say is it's a shame. And if you guys, if one of you guys came through here and seen Eagle today, just stop beating up on the Asians. No, even if they, like I said, even if they have treated us a certain way, and when I say us, I mean like brown folk, it don't matter. Yeah. With me, they just look at me all kind of goofy, like I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, when I'm saying they, that's almost everybody. When I go somewhere, these people just have a goofy look in their face, and just like they don't know what to say because they don't know how to identify with what I have on or nothing like that, or what's this and blah blah. I mean, just gonna be some questions. But the reason I just put that crown up again, there you go. You have to question where the information came from. But like I said, just like I said right before, and Derek Bailey was paying attention, is that I said, is it just a coincidence? You know what I mean? Is it a coincidence that we had medicine here? We had treatments and medicine for stuff that we were never going to catch by ourselves. I don't know. It's just, yeah. But you're right. You got to question where the information came from. But let's get into it, man. We'll talk about it. It's grown folk. If you get mad at grown folk stuff today, then I'm sorry. That's just what you get. Then you just get mad. But we're just gonna talk about legacy a little bit. And let me plant the seed real quick. So everybody knows when I'm talking about legacy. The reason I brought this up is because the reason I wanted to have this as a discussion for the show is because evidently Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. wants to fight Anderson Silva, and it's supposed to be something. I hope it's not. I'm not trying to bring it up to just because it's like some kind of hearsay, but it was a top story. It was on It was on the front pages on Google or MSN, one of those. It's on the front page that he's gonna fight Silva. I don't know Silva as being a boxer. Anybody know Silva as being a boxer? And he's been retired from MMA for quite a while. So that's what kind of sparked the discussion, right? Because we always have something that we could talk about, but that's what kind of sparked this discussion. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, something it just don't sound right. It just doesn't. It just don't. It's like, what the heck are you doing, man? So is that going to help to cement the legacy for him and his father? Is his father safe completely? Because I'm going to tell you right now, his father has never been safe with me. Yep. You feel me? None of these guys that are so real safe. You're not safe with me. Not like that. Because because the thing is, I'm not dumb enough to just fall into the paperwork. A lot of people, what happens with us with boxing and stuff is we fall into the paperwork. But you can't fall into the paperwork. You got to stop that, man. Get out that damn paperwork. Do some actual physical work yourself. Like visually, look at what's going on. And we had the controversy the other day. Yeah. Then we had the discussion the other day about these stupid things, but they always gonna come resurface. That's what happens with us. Is things just come back, and not necessarily to haunt us, but things just come back, and all these things are always gonna come resurfacing. But the legacy, because if you're gonna just look at paperwork, then you're gonna keep somebody on a certain pedestal. Yeah, for instance, but it's like, because we talked about so let me break it completely down. And so we talk about decisions and stuff. And so sometimes people act like decisions are just so perfect. Oh, the refs, not the refs, but the judges made such a perfect decision. Oh, okay. And we sit there and watch a robbery. And so you're not a judge, but you got to take it for yourself. In your opinion, did that fight actually go that way? A lot of people think, even going back to Ray Mercer, a lot of people think Ray Mercer beat Lewis, right? Couldn't nobody really hurt Ray Mercer. He can damn sure hurt somebody. But we can look back, well, that was good, just a decision. Just like a decision with just some decisions that just happened. Man, we got to look at this whole thing physically. We can't just look at the paperwork and stuff. Now, maybe the source with the Dylan White, hey, y'all saw the other day, they just killed I tried to have a Dylan White discussion. They just took my content. My damn mods, everybody. My mods. And then Crown came back. Crown, the guy that was at the fight with me, the Errol Spence fight. He came back in. It was like, that shit crazy. Salute to Jay Cooley up in here. I see you, Jay Cooley. Yep. Yeah, we haven't seen Jay Cooley for a while. But we got to take it upon ourselves, man, sometimes. My opinion, I'm like, damn. And now, you guys answer me this, though. How could, if we are really that bad at judging fights, if if our format, the one that I gave you, the one that we more or less decided on it, right? That nobody argued with me about the points. And I gave us a breakdown of how we can judge fights, right? I gave us a breakdown. So we can't use it. So if is our breakdown just that horrendous to where if we look at that, if we look at those points that we have, is it so horrendous that we shouldn't even be using it? And these judges, because they're so-called a lot of them never even fought. They're so good that they can call these fights. Get out of here. Because your father, Chavez, back to Chavez, Jr., was not as great as the paperwork says he was. He was not. And when he did get beat up, he got beat up bad. Every time he lost, he got beat up. He didn't just lose when he lost. He always got beat up. For me, I have a problem with that. If you're a great champion and when you lose, you just get beat up, I have a problem with that. If you just lose like a point or something, you lose, it could have went either way, then I'm like, okay, he's the boy. Yeah. I thought didn't they fight already though, Derek? I'm way behind. I'm way behind, man. I'm gonna catch up with you. Jay Cooley, I catch up with you too. Derek Bay said Chavez Sr. is fighting Camacho Jr. also. Yeah, this shit. I'm saying, that's the whole thing. Legacy. Y'all killing your legacy, if you ask me. Okay, let me catch up with y'all. Okay. You have the question. Okay, that's where I left off at. Yeah. Derek Bay said, no, it's happening. He talking about the stupid fight. Yeah. Yeah, he was a legend in the MMA. Yes, he was. Y'all saw he was a legend in the MMA. But what is he doing fighting Chavez? Yeah, y'all saw Hussein again. He had a fight not so long ago in the UFC. He's not a boxer, man. That's our point. He's not a boxer. Since Silva had one pro fight a long time ago. Yeah, that's Anderson. Yeah, Silva. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, y'all saw Hussein said got beat up bad. Yep. But y'all saw Hussein from Derek Bailey. And then right back, he said Silva's over the hill in MMA. He got no hope in boxing right about now. And then Jay Cooley's up in here. I saluted him. He said, what up, Eagle and brothers and sisters? That's right. Don't leave the sisters out. Make sure y'all hit my thumbs up. I think Gil left me out again. Derek Bailey saluted at Jay Cooley. Jay Cooley, what you think about Manny and Bud talk? And we talk. Hey, don't we talk about that all the time, y'all? Talk. That's what we doing here, Jay Cooley. Is Jay Cooley? See, I kind of changed my form a little bit. I used to follow like what everybody else does. Not the same show, but like the content they would have. Like they'll bring up like all the small talk or this fight's gonna happen. And what will happen is I noticed that none of this shit happening. So we don't really bring it up that much. Like if somebody's gonna fight, I'm just bringing this one up because and then Derek Bailey said this one is really supposed to happen. So, but a lot of this other shit I don't know because Crawford's everywhere. Crawford ain't fighting nobody. Who's Crawford fighting? Who was his last 3 fights? Come on, Crawford just ain't fighting nobody, man. Crawford, man, and I don't like to say this a lot, but Crawford is not that bright, y'all. I'm sorry, man. Crawford, you ain't that bright, brother. You ain't got no bright people behind you, man. Nobody's telling you to stand up. Nobody's telling you to pull yourself up by your balls and say something to Aaron, man, or something. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all get some fights done. Yeah. Derek Bay said, is it definite? Yeah, that Jay Cooley, yeah. And then Jay Cooley said, you came back, you saying the same thing we saying. He said, Derek, I won't believe it till I see it. That's it. And that's exactly what it is. Derek Bay said, I'd rather see Bud versus Porter. Yeah, I want to see Bud versus Porter. Get in there and fight. At least you be fighting somebody. Yeah. Derek Bay said, De La Hoya, you're supposed to be fighting in July. Yeah. Now that's supposed to be, so that's something else that's supposed to be real, is De La Hoya is supposed to be fighting. But okay, we got plenty of time. So yeah, we can talk about everything. But the subject here is the legacy. is he can kill his own legacy, right? Speaking of Chavez, he can kill his own legacy, but he won't kill his father's legacy. But for me, his father, there's no legacy. He was never like a legend like that, because it was all. If you thought about it as a layman, yeah. If you knew zero about boxing, yeah, seemed like a legend. As a matter of fact, even this is. I'm gonna bring this up. A lot of people might not like this. A lot of times when, let's say for instance, a ex-fighter gets a job as a commentator, he has to follow the rules and regulations, or he wants to fit in. And so a lot of times you'll hear fighters, even when they get interviewed, they'll say how good a person was or whatever, but at home they cussing. Believe me, at home they cussing like that motherfucker wasn't nothing. Believe me, at home they not saying, it's not the same discussion, brother. It's not the same discussion once they get home. Believe me, it's not. It is not the same discussion once they get home. When they're out there in public, oh yeah, he's great and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You know, they all over him. They massaging his back and everything. But what happens right when they get home, though? They're not gonna do that. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because you got to notice that, see, commentators, George Foreman was real good at that when he first started. Does anybody remember where George Foreman got his start as a boxing commentator? Do you remember? What major network did George Foreman get started when it came to him doing boxing commentary? And he was okay. He was okay. He got too excited about certain stuff. You know, sometimes for me, I'm like, come on, George. You know better than that shit. You know somebody's about to, he's about to get that ass whooped. Like, especially when, I think it was Floyd. when Floyd was fighting Brandon. I'm like, that boy he lost every damn round. He's tough. And that was the one he was supposed to be bringing it. That's what Mayweather didn't do no shoulder rolls and stuff, because Brandon's a left-hander. Mayweather's putting those things on him. Yep. But we'll see what he do. Bud is happy with that Derek Bay said Bud is happy with the $3 million fight he is receiving. No, it wasn't HBO. Good guess though, Derek. Good guess. That's a good guess. But you the only ones who's gonna put anything out anyway. You and Jay Cooley are the one saying something. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, y'all sir put down a couple of words, but y'all sir he goes babysits or something. I don't know what he does. He takes off. I gotta leave the chat. So people leave the chat. They don't say peace, man. I gotta go for a minute. Most of them. No respect in equals where, man. Yeah, but he happy with the $3 million, man. I don't know. I'm not excited. Remember, it's just too. You know why I'm not excited about Bud? This is 2021, and that's why I'm not excited about Bud, because all I'm hearing is conversation about this, conversation about that. First, it started off with shit that we don't care about. First, it started off with Bud's money versus Earl's money. I think even if I had to just guess, if I had to take a guess, I would think that Earl makes way more than Bud. I'm sorry. I think that Earl makes way more than Bud does. Just the whole fan base and everything. People love, you got football owners of football teams, like the professional football teams. You got them loving Earl Spencer, stuff like that. With a team that's probably have out-marketed everybody in the field of merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Everybody still has to play the catch-up game, and that's with the Dallas Cowboys, So, and I don't know who endorsing Bud. I don't know. You got a lot of people that endorse Earl. I think Floyd came out and endorsed Earl a little bit, and I really don't. Yeah, okay. Derek Bay said you probably didn't get it. There was a network. This was the main boxing network. It was called USA Boxing Network. So that's what George was at first. It was him. I think it was Al Albert, not Marv Albert. Or it might have been Marv Albert. It was him. I get confused with him and his brother. Marv Albert and Sean O'Grady. Which I didn't like Sean O'Grady that much. I liked it. He was tough. I didn't like him. But he knew when to get the hell out of boxing. Because he beat one of my fighters, man. He beat Hilmer Kente. I didn't like that. I told you I like them little punchers. I'm like, God dang man, I used to love the even like spar with them little guys that can hit hard. I'm like, damn, this little dude can hit, man. Look at you hitting hard. I mean, it wouldn't really hurt me, but it's like, damn man, you hitting. I'm like, damn little dude got some punch, got some pop, got some sting. You feel me? Yeah, but yeah, that's where he started at though. So all these fighters that come up, and I'm thinking, so Chavez is kind of killing the legacy, and it might rub off on the father. But for me, like I said, father never had that much of a legacy. But can I can't say the same thing with Layla Ali, because she came in and did her thing. A lot of people there always she got some decisions, got fights and decisions because of her father. They put her to the top because of her father. Well, good. Guess what we're talking about legacy. So if your father, if the legacy, all you're doing is helping my point. So if the legacy is great enough to boost you up, then good. Chavez's legacy wasn't great enough to boost his son up for so long, because then he started putting his head down. Remember? He started putting his head down. Like, damn, man, how did you lose that? You didn't do shit I told you to say. Yeah, Derek Bates said, yeah, Sean had a lot of fights. Yeah, he had a lot of fights. Yeah, y'all sir say I'm still here, just done washing the dishes and rolling the joint, laughing my ass out. Look at you, you stupid. That damn y'all sir, or he love his wife. Yeah, he love his wife a lot. He's sitting there doing dishes. I ain't gonna do no dishes. Only time I do dishes is if I can't trust you. If I can't trust you doing dishes, like if I go in there, I see the water ain't really hot, I'm like, nah, I don't know where I got it. If you washing dishes in cold water, I'm gonna get them. Or if that dishwasher need to be used, I'm gonna use that. I don't like using dishwashers because I end up washing the dishes before I even put them in the dishwasher. So I don't even use. So might as well just go in and wash them. And if your shit need that much sanitation, something wrong with your cooking anyway, your utensils and everything else. I don't cook foods I don't leave stuff out to where it get rotten or nothing like that. I don't have nothing that builds up bacteria because I don't eat that kind of food. Oh, man. Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, y'all, sir, it's probably rolling something. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Man, he got to wash them dishes first, though, brother. He washed the dishes, then he got to get them that roll in. So who else? Legacy, and how do you keep a legacy? Let me ask you this question, and I'll wait for you guys to respond. Yeah, and Floyd Mayweather doesn't have anybody that's probably coming behind him in his family. But is he cementing his legacy right now? Is he putting cement on it? If you already have a legacy, like it's already, say you got a legacy already. So let's say your legacy is already cemented, right? So now it's time now to throw down the mic, right? So you throw down the mic now. Sugar Ray Robinson legacy is in cement. He can throw down the mic. Muhammad Ali's legacy is in cement. He can throw, the mic can be thrown down. But what about Floyd? The Amanda Serrano? No, I caught a little bit. I caught a little bit, but I didn't really see the fight though. Yeah. Was it that? Did I miss out? Was it great? I can't be missing out on stuff, man. Don't y'all be letting me know about shit like that. And I didn't see it. I'm gonna be mad if it was a great fight. But I don't catch I usually don't catch them that. Yeah. But we gonna see. I'm just thinking, was she in the Olympics for like a long time? Somebody let me know if she's the same one that was in the Olympics like forever. Like, I mean, not the Olympics, but always like winning Golden Gloves. Like she has the record on winning Golden Gloves. Yeah, but she out there putting them hands out there though, huh? Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna see what she do though. I hope it was a good fight. I probably go. I had to go back and I just had to go back and check it out. Yeah, I got to go back. I know she won, but I got to go back and check it out. She be on that. She be on that body work, don't she? That's the Derek. Derek, she be on that body work. Look at D Ray done brought his ass up in here. We ain't seen D Ray in like how long? Ain't seen D Rizzle. We ain't seen D Rizzle. That's your name, D Ray. We ain't seen D Rizzo on how long. Salute to D Rizzo out here. He got the ego up. At least he got the ego up. He got the ego up. He said, chat. He got the loud. Yeah, salute, team. Yeah. I got the crown. The crown ain't for me, brother. Yep. Oh yeah, so before I even read what you said right there, yeah, he said she stopped that girl with two body shots. I told you she be going to that body, huh? She went down and just said, "Oh hell to the no, I'm good." But there, yeah, Floyd collecting checks. That's his legacy now. But he told you, yeah. But see, the thing about Floyd is, we're talking about legacy. So the thing about Floyd is that they starved him out so much. And it's not all his fault. Because I went back and I was just listening to the whole, you had to go back to the earlier part of his career. And so when you go back to the earlier part of his career, they were starving him out. He just wasn't getting the money. And I'm going to tell you, the main person, and this is now, it started to, the puzzle pieces start being put together. Because you remember at one time at HBO, you remember that Floyd went completely off on Larry Merchant. He went just like crazy. He had Larry Merchant talking about if he was younger, what he would do to Floyd. Because that little devil, he always hated Floyd. Because what he would do, like during the commentary, he would just boost up De La Hoya so high. And Floyd got to hear that shit. So he would always boost up De La Hoya, saying that Floyd would never hit superstar status like De La Hoya. He said that. And he would always say that. No, he got to stay in it. More or less tell him that boy got to stay in his place. He can't be getting these kind of paychecks like De La Hoya. Right? And so I know that had a little bit to do with Floyd just snapping and just going the hell off on him. Yeah, I see what you wrote to Derek Bailey. You right, though. I agree with you, too, Ed. Yeah, sir. I agree with you. Yeah, sir. Oh, our UK brother up in here. Always on some shit, too. Him and Gil. But that's making sense, though. The upkeep. Yep. And I'm agree with you on that, too. That upkeep and shit. He just realizing that all that raining and shit with the money. Hey, wait a minute. Now my other businesses and my merchandise ain't really working out like I thought it would. I thought that was going to handle some bills. Maybe that shit just ain't working out. But then again, you got to look at it. Y'all, sir, he don't need to do all this shit. If I'm retired, then I don't need all these houses no more. Maybe I need a couple of small houses. Maybe I can have a mansion, maybe, but my kids is grown. Do I still need a mansion? When your kids are grown up, do you still need a mansion? Do you still need a mansion when your kids is out the house? It's just you. You imagine walking around a big-ass mansion? Just you? Hello? I'll be all paranoid and shit. I'll be like, who up in my house? I'll be tripping, man. I had to have dogs and shit. I had to have dogs all in my mansion, like searching shit. I'll be like going. I'll be like, killer 1, killer 2, go search. Teach them shits to search. And killer 3 and 4 be outside. They got to search the perimeter outside. Search. They got it every night. Search. Yeah, that's stressful. Every night you living by yourself and all that shit, man. You don't. Somebody chilling in one room that you don't go to. They in there living. Oh man, F that. F that. You ain't got no family in there, man. What you doing? Sell some of that shit. Forget all that risking your health and life and shit. Because somebody can get lucky. You might win, but somebody might put a major crack in your skull. But back to Chavez. Back to Chavez. You don't have much of a legacy. Your dad's legacy is kind of shaky, and I don't see this as being something that's positive. I don't see you fighting an MMA fighter is, a retired MMA fighter. I don't see that that's going to be a positive look for your legacy. And how do you hold on? Like I said, how do you hold on to legacy? Ali's legacy is already cemented. Marvin Hagler's legacy is cemented. You can throw the mic down. Sugar Ray Leonard, his legacy is, it's cemented. It had a few cracks in it, but it's still cemented. Jack Johnson, cemented. We have some that's cemented, but there's a little bit of cracks in it. George Foreman is cemented, but he put his own cracks in there. And like I say, a lot of times when you doing the song and dance with somebody, you doing the, ta-da, you doing that shit instead of just keeping it real. But then again, a lot of times when it comes to doing the right thing, a lot of times they hate your ass for that. So you got to think about that. A lot of times they don't like you. You feel me? A lot of times they just don't like, you keeping it too real. Oh, we can't have you doing commentary. You keeping it too real. And like a lot of people, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Snoop Dogg is taking over a lot of shit. And I know a lot of people got mad at him. They didn't want him doing commentary and stuff. But I think it was hilarious. And I'm not gonna be a hater on Snoop. They have judges in there, right, to tell you who won the fight. You're probably gonna turn the commentary off anyway if you're a fight fan. So why not, when you watch the fight again, why not have Snoop doing it? Because I'm gonna tell you something. When I watched Snoop, when Snoop did the Nate Robinson fight, I was in tears. I'm sorry. I was in tears when he did the fight. I'm sorry. Y'all might not like Snoop, but Snoop had me in tears. He said, "Oh, Lord." He was singing and everything. He was like, "Oh, Lord, Lord have mercy." And I'm sorry, man. This shit had me dying. Now, maybe it's not the appropriate place to have stuff like that, but I'm not wrapped that tight myself. I do this show and I try to keep it serious, but that's this show. I don't care if somebody else's show is full of fun all the time. You know what I mean? We have fun here all the time. But I want Snoop in there. I'm sorry. Y'all can get mad at Eagle if you want to. But I want Snoop in there. Now, I might not listen to him at first, but I can go back and listen to him so I can laugh. That's it. Yep. Yeah, Derek Bay said, yeah. He said, when you have a house that large, someone can be living with you and you don't even know it. That's it. Shit, I feel like that in my place. My place ain't that big, but I feel like somebody in here. And where you at? You in my house? Get your ass out of here. Yeah. Y'all sir said he's known as the money man. He's got to maintain that image, but on the same page, maintaining that image has been the downfall of a lot of people. But then again, if we look at it deeply, you're in your 40s, how long are you going to really go? You're going to fight until you're 60? And guess what? The taxes and stuff is still going to be going up. Property tax and everything is still going to be going up. I think if you sit down and use your brain because you got enough money, I think you can come up with a venture that's going to keep everything self-sustained. That's going to keep enough money coming in, keep enough money generating. But then again, are you tarnishing your brand? Because remember, it's legacy. So are you tarnishing your brand? And I'm going to tell you, some of these fighters, now we talking about brand, not brand, but we talking about legacy. I think that Terrence Crawford is, I think he's tarnishing his legacy. Manny Pacquiao, how many movies does Manny Pacquiao have? Manny Pacquiao has movies and everything else. So no matter what, he can still tarnish his legacy, but he'll still survive. But some of you guys ain't going to survive. Keith Thurman already done tarnished his legacy by being a mouth runner and going there and getting and losing. and now he's ass out for a while, and then he just seemed like he a CB right now. That he want to block everything. Oh no, you can't fight him. And come on, get your ass out of there. Ain't nobody. What nobody cared. Didn't nobody care about who you fought? Didn't nobody try to block your fights? Yeah, Derek Bailey down at the bottom said, "Yeah, it was funny." Derek, was that shit? Did that shit have you crying or what? Snoop is a fool, man. I'm sorry. And like I said, I don't listen to. I don't really want to pay attention to commentary. But after I look at the fight, I might look at it a couple. Now maybe after the second or third time I watch it because I got to replay it. I got to be like deep into it. Like okay, that was a good hook. That was a good body shot. I thought it was low blow. I thought it was this and that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, but then to have somebody like Snoop up in there, that shit had me dying, man. I'm sorry. And so a lot of people like give me a thumbs down. Now I don't want Snoop to be doing the commentary. So what? So what? Larry Merchant was doing commentary. He don't know shit about boxing. Didn't Floyd Mayweather tell him, you don't know shit about boxing? Didn't he tell him? Told him he didn't know shit about boxing. Yeah. And that's another good point, too. That Manny has a country behind him. That's right, Derek Bailey. But a lot of these fighters don't. And these fighters are killing. They're actually legacy killers. We might have to do a whole show on legacy killers. How many legacy killers do we have right now, Derek Bailey? Y'all, sir. Jay Cooley. How many legacy killers do you see in the making right now? When I say legacy killers, that they're doing stuff that's going to they can end up hurting their legacy right now. I just want to see where y'all's mindset is at. I want to see where y'all's at right now. And then I'm going to throw it out there. I'll throw you a couple. I'll throw you one. I'll give you an easy one. Ryan Garcia. I can just throw that out at you right now. And and then just mentioning the legacy of Floyd Mayweather and this legacy and stuff. I'm looking at this whole thing with the Tank still, and I've been telling y'all for a couple of years now that I still don't like it. Tank got to get his ass in there. We just seen a great fight with Tank, but Tank got to stay more busier than anybody. Tank can stay busier than anybody in boxing right now. Him and Devin Haney. They can stay busier than anybody else in boxing right now. Because in a lot of divisions, you got a lot of runners too. Oh yeah, I would fight you. Like at 154. Like the guys should be fighting. But then that's going to leave Charlo. Charlo ain't really had nobody. He can fight anybody. If Charlo can get that belt, then Charlo can just fight anybody. Just do little mandatories and just, he can do his little selects, whoever he select, and they'll just do his mandatories. And he can just do that. He can do that for a few years and just retire. He don't even have to stay in. Because he made his point. He made his point. He can go down as being great. But he just need a couple of maybe a couple of more fights where he just viciously beats up a couple of people. Well, that's gonna happen anyway. Somebody, you are gonna get viciously beat up by him now because he ain't gonna lose. I mean, that's even like more for your adrenaline when you got those belts for a lot of them. God dang, Derek down at he said he down at the bottom. Man, yeah, he said the whole commentary was funny. He said when he said they looked like two uncles fighting at a cookout. Yeah. It looked like two uncles fighting at a cookout. That shit was funny. And then Derek Bailey came right back. Derek Bailey said, all of them. God dang, Derek, y'all just, what have I created here in Eagles Way of Boxing, man? Y'all just not very nice at all, man. Damn. But at least everybody's participating with this chat. I appreciate y'all participating with the chat. Because y'all just made me throw my content away last week. I mean, the last show. Y'all just made me just fold my content up about Dylan White, man. I couldn't get nobody to say, anything positive about Dylan White. As far as I said, damn, no, let's not kill him. I said, he had a skill set, don't he? Something? I said, don't he have something going? No, nobody wanted to give him nothing. Like, nah, he don't get nothing. Y'all was talking about that he had Hagler on the back of his trunks. I said, name three nice things, three assets, boxing assets that Dylan White have. Y'all wouldn't say nothing. Y'all was like, yeah, he stepped into the ring and didn't trip on the way in, trip on the way out. That was Crown. Crown said that. What else Crown said? Crown said that, yeah, he kept his trunks up. or something. Didn't lose his mouthpiece. I'm like, wow, that's not what I meant. I meant his attributes, man. He can't be that bad. I don't like him. So, but anyway, my whole chat just decided that, hey, nobody likes you. Yep. Yeah. Derek Bay said no one wants smoke with Haney. Everyone has an excuse not to fight him. Yeah. What's all these excuses? Y'all, and that's what I'm saying. So, but damn, I ain't gonna go. Damn, but Derek said all of them. Nobody want no legacy. All you guys are doing, you guys are taking away. See, but here, so if you take away, so think about this. Think about this part of the conversation. So if you're taking away from your own legacy, folks. So if you're taking away from your legacy, how do you build your legacy? If you're already killing it, that's like if you're shooting yourself in the foot while you're walking. What the hell? How's that going to be beneficial? If you're shooting yourself. Now, if you're getting yourself the most comfortable shoes and you're walking, you're doing good. You're going to be able to walk further. But excuses are like shooting yourself in the foot. That's all these are. All the excuses is just shooting yourself in the foot. That's what it is. So, if somebody gets upset, then they just get upset. But your fighter is not doing what he needs to do. You got some fighters go out on social media. I can't stand social media no more just because of this. But you do have some that go out there and they'll talk like they want to fight. And you got others that go out there and just start clowning all you and start teasing like, oh, you want to fight me, huh? Yeah, because I got these belts or I got... Really? Instead of just saying, let's make it happen, man. We live. You live right now. Hit me up live. Hit my DM up. Let me know, man. We do a conference right here on social media. We don't need television. The older fighters would do something like that. Now, people, there we go comparing errors and stuff. I'm going to tell you something. In every sport, you got divas, no matter who you think they might be all-stars, but you got these diva-type athletes. And you got people that got common sense. And a lot of people, if you know anything about NBA, not boxing no more, but the National Basketball Association, if you know anything about that, if you know about some of the greatest players, a lot of people will say that Wilt Chamberlain probably, even though he don't have the rings, was probably the greatest player that ever played basketball. Well, he was the greatest athlete for sure. There's no argument. You can't argue with that. Because the dude was over 7 feet tall. He high jumped. He triple jumped. He ran the 400, like the 400 meters. What else? And I think javelin or something like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? He actually he had the record. He had a state record in the high jump. He's a basketball player. Okay. And he didn't do what they call, if you know anything about track and field, there was a technique that they used for high jumping it's called the Fosbury flop. And that's what they use now to get better height. He did it the old-fashioned way and was over 6 feet, 6 inches, high jumping. And that's a good jump. At any height, that's just because your height doesn't matter when it comes to high jumping or stuff like that, or vertical leaping. It doesn't matter. Your height has shit to do with it. Because he had a little guy that was 5'8" named Franklin Jacobs. He was at 5'8". That was jumping with the big guys. That's all. It makes a difference only if you're that damn short. You're 5'8". Then it makes a little bit. Then they have a little bit of advantage, but not if they don't have as much vertical as you got. But anyway, so back to Wilt Chamberlain he's the greatest basketball player. Now, will Michael Jordan admit that? No. Will somebody like Shaquille O'Neal admit that? Yes. Will some of the older players admit that? Yes. Because some of the shit he was doing, he was still doing at 50. When he was retired, he was still able to dominate NBA players when he was in his 50s. He wasn't even in the league no more. He was still able to dominate. There's nobody who's doing shit like that. There's no other sport where somebody's coming back at 50 and dominating. You ain't coming back in baseball or football and dominating at your position. He was still able to dominate. I think it was a story that Magic Johnson and them, they had a pickup game, right? And Magic Johnson, I think they called goaltending on him one time. On Will Chamberlain, they called goaltending on him, and Magic Johnson said that's game. He said game over with, and so Will Chamberlain said run it back. He said we're gonna run it back. He said nobody's scoring a bucket, and this is with Magic Johnson. He said nobody's gonna score a bucket, and he said nobody's scoring a bucket. Is he playing by himself? He said nobody's scoring the bucket. Guess what? Magic said that none of them scored. So he was throwing everything out. Get that shit out of here. He was blocking everything. Like at 50 years old, 50-something years old, he said that you are not scoring. And they said that a lot of people thinking he couldn't fit in. He could fit in any era, man, because it was just because of his strength, man. It's just so many myths about him that it just seem like myths, man. He holds so many records, like averaging 50 points a game for a whole season. He averaged the most minutes, never fouled out of a game. Just shit that it's just unheard of shit. Like in one game before they start doing blocks, they said he had 25 block shots in a game. 25 block shots. Led the league in assists as over a 7-footer. That shit just only makes sense. How could you lead the league in assists being that big in block shots? Now, the point being is that legacy. We talking about all this legacy stuff, but then we talk about the people that don't want to give credit also. So you do have people that you think that are superstars, they're not going to give credit. But then you have some people that are going to give you credit. We're going to always give you credit. At least I am in Eagles World. We're going to give you credit, but we also are, we're like, this chat here is a holes barred chat. So if you come in on some BS, we're going to call you on it. We're not going to be fanboys. Yo, I think you're going to do it, or you're going to do this. No, we're not going to do that. So if nobody wants to smoke with Haney, what you're doing is you're a personal legacy killer of your own. You're killing your own legacy. And so that's what you're doing. You're killing your own legacy. And we're trying to keep y'all, we want y'all to get in there and fight. We're not trying not to have you be a legacy killer. But I appreciate you bringing up that information to me, Derek. So now I got to go back and look at the fight. I got to stop being a highlight catcher, because I know I know that girl be going. I know she a body snatcher, huh? I said, yeah, she a body snatcher. Yeah. Before I even read anything he said, I said, yeah, that's that little body snatcher. That girl, she put them things on you. Yeah. I don't know. Shields, go down and see her. That's all I can say. Shields, go see about her. See what she about. Yeah. Just see what she about. It's always good to see what somebody's about. But Dylan White, man, and nobody wants to hear about Dylan White, I guess. But we're gonna see. They'll probably give him a shot. He's not gonna beat nobody. I don't think even with Joshua, I don't think he can't beat Joshua. He can't beat Fury. Fury is way more beatable than a lot of you might think. Fury is really beatable. Only person who's seen that was Otto Vaylin. He's the only one that's seen it. The Fury is beatable. All you gotta do is get up on Fury's ass, right? Fury is not an inside fighter. He's not good. He's not great. Put it that way, he's not great inside. You got to get that phrase on. Y'all need to see it. Let me show you what you need to put on Fury. I thought I had it up here. Oh, here we go. Yep. Yeah, I gotta get the mic in there in that other page. I gotta get the mic put on there. Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't have a mic in there, but y'all knew that anyway, because we done been there before. But that, you got to get inside on Fury. So the legacy, and the reason so the showcase is the Chavez Jr. Um, you're setting the you've been in the boxing a little bit longer than some of these younger guys. So what you're doing, you're setting the precedent for these other guys to just venture off and do other shit. And we never discussed this, Derek Bailey. But what I'm thinking is that with all this exhibition and all this other crap that's going on, that you're gonna have fighters that actually get out of boxing early, so they can do exhibitions, or you're gonna have fighters that are doing exhibitions at the same time that they're fighting. It's just gonna get out of hand. Because if we're opening up Mike Tyson opened up a whole new thing with the exhibitions and stuff. Okay, so Mike Tyson, your legacy is pretty solid, and we know how many cracks you got in there, quite a few cracks, but you're still solid, still Hall of Famer and stuff like that. But I just don't like the look. You guys got to eat. Well, you're doing more than eating though. So you guys gonna do these exhibitions and stuff like that. I don't know if that's the greatest thing to be doing, but get your bread on. Everybody else getting their bread, and they're doing it different ways. So we just got to sit back and wait. I see Derek say probably so, but we're gonna see, Derek. So we got to sit back and wait, Derek, because if this does happen, if you think that we lost boxing, if that's what you think, that we lost a lot in boxing, let's think how much of a loser we're gonna be then. That's like losing even more. We're gonna lose even more. If this happens, we're gonna lose even more when it comes to boxing. That's gonna be horrible. Because then we'll be sitting there. This is our conversation. This is what our conversation is gonna be, y'all. Is that we're gonna be talking about fights that we want to materialize, but this is the way we're gonna talk about it. I hope fighter A fights fighter X after fighter A has this exhibition fight. I'm just putting it out there, because if we have to start adding that to our language in boxing, that's really gonna hurt, man. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck, man. I mean, that's why I wanted to bring up this whole thing about the legacy and stuff. This is like a light discussion about the legacy, but at the same time, as grown folks chat, are these guys hurting themselves, or are they helping themselves? The legacy. Because when we're not around anymore, when we're all gone 100 years from now, well, most of us will be gone. I don't know. Some of y'all still be here. Some of y'all be like 100, 120, 130. Y'all be still walking around talking about, I remember way back in Eagles Web. We should go to the show and talk. Here's another thing. I was thinking that I'm trying to get some shirts together or whatever. And that's what I've been working on. I just haven't gotten in touch with the person that I needed to get in touch with. But I wanted to put, I'm not like big on like merch and stuff like that, but I think it would be cool for us to have some mod shirts, for y'all to have your own shirts and stuff like that. The ones that you get to come in here, any of them can get them. I'll just make y'all pay for them. But you won't pay like you'll just pay like whatever I pay, that's what you pay. It's not for no kind of profit. I can't make nothing on no shirts, no way. So I'll just do it that way. This is a thought. Or something. Like a little baby glove, put the logo on that. I don't know. I got to see. I got to see what they do. See what they got, man. That's why it takes me a long time to work on certain stuff. But they're killing it, man. They're killing all their legacy. You're killing your legacies. Don't be legacy killers before you even make a legacy. You don't even have a legacy yet. You already killed it. Nate Robinson, did he kill his legacy? He's probably pretty much cemented in the NBA. But in boxing, it's just gonna be a meme, right? And so a lot of you fighters and you athletes, we're trying to keep you from being memes or anything else. Just do what you got to do in there, man. I know it's a survival thing, it's money, it's everything, but do the right thing up in there, man. You ain't got to make me proud, because I'm not gonna be proud of you anyway. But I'm just gonna if something happened to you, I'm gonna be shaking my head, looking at you like, man, I don't know what happened to him. And that's what it's gonna be. I'm just gonna be looking at you and shaking my head like, damn, dude, you got pretty much got a lot of hands put on you on that. That's it. But you will end up in here, and we will talk about you one way or another. So Friday, I don't know. Right now I'm open. I didn't have anything down. I didn't write anything down as far as the discussion, because we don't really have. I don't know, what's the fight schedule, Derek? I gotta rely on y'all sometimes, shit, for the fight schedule. Let me see. Let's just see if we got anything. Okay, so tonight we do have, I think it's not Custazu, but it's Tom Tszyu, right? Doesn't say his name, it just says Tszyu, but I think that's his name, Tom. Versus Hogan tonight. Thursday, Soares versus Solis. Herring versus Frampton is on Saturday. And then we're going to have Smith Jr. versus Vlasov. That's next week. Or weekend after this weekend. So I know we're waiting. I know we got a lot to wait. Got a lot of fights to be waiting on right now. A lot of stuff. I don't know, the Herring Frampton. That's something to watch, huh? It's on ESPN, so y'all can catch it. I'll be at work, but I'll still try to catch it. That's right. That's right. Ennis fight's coming up. So Ennis is the weekend after this. So maybe we have something. Maybe we'll have a breakdown, or we'll have something to talk about. Or maybe I'll even talk about the Herring. Whichever one I catch. If I can catch him, because a lot of times I got to replay him because can't catch him at work. So a lot of times I just can't catch him when I'm at work. But I'll try my best to catch him. But don't look at it's not heavy. It's not a heavy schedule that's coming up. You know what I mean? The schedule's not heavy. Yeah, Frank and Harry, fighting Saturday. Yep. Yeah, Derek Bay said, and in life, Nate will be remembered for going Nate. See, that's what I'm saying, man. That's important. Yeah, I mean, you can laugh at what Derek Bailey put down there or whatever. I'm gonna try to keep it serious. That is serious. When it's your legacy. Why am I saying today? I can't stand when people say that much. I can say it's okay with me if I say it. None of y'all can say But when it comes to your legacy, and that happens, it's just not a good look, because once they create the memes that are going to always be there now, and yes, they changed the form. When you Google something, if you Google Nate Robinson's boxing career, it's just not going to look good once you pull it up. And once his kids pull it up, it's just not going to look good. Because you got to be remembered for going Nate. Just like Derek said, you got to be remembered for going Nate. That's it. Who wants to be remembered for going Nate? That don't. This is not good. No. I don't know, but is that a fight y'all want to see? Actually, I guess is that fight actually? I think that fight is actually on right now. The Hogan fight, I guess, is on right now. Because maybe it's in Australia, right? Yeah, so it's probably already airing. Or shit, maybe it might be off. It might have the results of it already. So I don't know. We probably got to go back and look at it. Yeah, the two that's yeah, the Tzu and Hogan. Yeah, I don't know. Smith Jr. We could check that out. Ennis Lipinets probably checked it out. Herring Frampton. Those are some of the stuff we probably need to. We'll just pay attention to those and see how those fights go, and maybe talk about the picture. Maybe there's a picture that can be made out of the Ennis fight. Because where did we see him anyway? Does he need something big right now? Yeah. Oh, Zoo. Yeah, he said Tzu already won. Yeah, yeah, so he's already running because it's Australian time. My bad. I'm behind because of our, like I said, it's because of our where we at. We live here. We don't live in Australia. But anyway, some of the other fights the other fights haven't come up for sure because I know that Australia time is not that much different. It's not days difference, not like that. It is days difference, depends on where you're flying to, but it's not like tonight. Okay, Derek Bay said he going with Frampton. Okay. Well, we're gonna see. We'll see who does it. There ain't no crow platters on this already. There's no crow platters for us, so but we're gonna see how this whole thing goes out. I mean, we didn't get into it like real heavy. We was talking about the empathy of the Asians attacks and stuff like that. That's just on our own. What's going on in the States and around the world right now. We talk about those type of things, and we talked about the legacy. And our main focus was Chavez. Is why is Chavez Jr. fighting a retired UFC fighter? So like that. And then the legacy of these other fighters. These fighters are they killing legacies at the same? Are they legacy killers and creators at the same time? And the answer to that may be an emphatic yes. Yep. Okay, so we'll be all on board on that way. I guess we'll just go with Frampton, and then we'll look at it. We'll come back and we'll look at it and see, what it looked like. Did we kill our own self? We hung ourselves for going with Frampton. I don't really care. Yeah, if you win a fight because you're a winner, then that's what you do. You just got to show us, hey, you a winner like that, yeah. Then go and get that fight won. Anyway, my shout out to all the real people that I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. You know what it is. Wednesday, man. Nothing but blessings. We're going to get back at it. Yeah, we've been having just like a lot of problems though, Derek, with these little up and coming fighters, man. They just killing the whole show, man. They just killing the whole show. Yeah. And there you go too though. There you go. He right. When these fighters got that quit in them, it's like, oh shit, he got that quit in him. Is he gonna open up that can of quit? Good one, Derek. So that's what we're gonna look at, Derek. So Will he open up the can of quit? And not just him, but all these other fighters. Are they going to open up the can of quit? Or are they going to get their business done? I'm going to catch y'all, man.